Hello, my name is Callie Price. I'll be your instructor for your biology course. Here's my contact information. I will be holding virtual office hours via Zoom only. My office hours will be posted in Canvas. However, I'm also available to meet by scheduled appointment if you're not able to attend my virtual office hours. Here's my email as well. However, Canvas messaging is the best way to reach me as my work email gets overwhelmed daily. So if you have an important message, please message me directly through Canvas. You can expect a response time in about 36 hours or less. However, I often am checking my messages regularly and likely will respond sooner. However, please be patient and I will try to get to your message as soon as possible. In Canvas, I posted a more in-depth video about my background just to give you a quick tips about who I am. I graduated from Tarleton State University, so right here in Stephenville, Texas. I initially came to Tarleton in 2007 and graduated with my bachelor's in 2011 in biology. I started graduate school 2 weeks later in 2011 and graduated in 2013. During my time here at Tarleton, I've held many different positions in the biology department, such as a student worker, supplemental instructor, lab instructor, a graduate assistant, research assistant, etc. During my time here at Tarleton, I worked on a research project during my master's degree at Fossil Rim Wildlife Center. I was studying this little guy right here called the Spinos ear tick, Otopius magnani. It's a pretty rare tick, and my job was to figure out all of the ecology of the tick. So, where is it located? What are the environmental factors that affect its distribution and its abundance? With the overall goal of trying to figure out how we could prevent this tick from getting on the wildlife that are located at Fossil Rim. Currently, I am working on my PhD in science education. So I truly want to know how students learn and what resources that we can provide and or instructional practices that we can implement to better serve our students. My teaching philosophy is that I believe all students, regardless of your background, can be an excellent student regardless of where you come from, what race you are, gender, etc. I believe that society can be better if we choose to continue to learn and give back to the world and to those around us. I also believe in equitable and accessible learning opportunities for all students, despite learning differences and challenges. I truly believe that scientists belongs to the people and that science is truly for all. My job is to not only teach you about biology, but to serve you, encourage you, and challenge you. I really hope that I can help you be a more successful student in many different areas besides the science course. I hope that you're able to take away better study habits, how to read, how to problem solve, how to communicate, and how to work on your professionalism during your time here in my class. How to succeed. It's very important that you keep up with your Canvas announcements. This will be my main channel of communication with you. It's very important that you check this at least once a day, several times a week, so that you stay up to date with important deadlines in the class. Make sure you review your notes daily. Make sure you're doing your reading and thinking critically about that reading. Form a study group if you really need to work on your study habits or if you work better with people. Be disciplined. Don't cram for the major exams. Use your times wisely. Just like you, I really enjoyed my Netflix, and I find that it can be really easy to watch the next episode one after another. However, if you have really important deadlines coming up, maybe just watch one episode and don't binge watch the whole season. Make sure that you get adequate sleep and adequate food. If you need access to food, keep in mind that Tarleton has a food pantry here that has free resources for students. Ask help early if you need it. I'm really big on this one. If you're struggling, you have to communicate with me. I cannot just read your mind or understand what your struggles are. I think it's very important that you reach out to me and get help early on before it's too late. Now I'm going to cover some general course overview things. However, a detailed copy of the class syllabus is posted in Canvas. You need to read the syllabus very carefully. First, we'll start with your biology lab. Labs will start the second week of the semester, so the week of January 25th. You will need your lab manual for lab that can be purchased at the local bookstore. We will provide a copy of the first lab manual chapter because we realize it might take you a little while to get your lab manual in hand. Make sure that you're completing your lab assignments and attending lab regularly. Don't skip. Your final lab score will make up 25% of your overall class grade, so it's very important that you do well. You will have a separate lab canvas that will be available soon. Your instructor is currently waiting on access to that specific Canvas section. However, once they receive access, you can expect a more detailed announcement to come from lab. Course materials. There are three things you need to keep in mind material-wise for this class. The first one is the online e-text. This is a recommended or optional material. Here I have the ISBN. As well, you can look at this page in Canvas that will walk you through how to register this e-text once you have purchased an access code. If you decide to buy an earlier edition of this text or a printed version of the text, it's fine. I will not be requiring the mastering assignments from the e-text. However, the e-text Mastering Biology comes with additional resources such as a study area, practice exams, practice quizzes, etc. So I find it to be a very useful resource for students in this class. However, again, it's kind of up to you because this is listed as recommended or optional. Another option that you could use for the text is the OpenStax Biology. I provided a link in your Canvas that will take you directly to this site. This is an open resource and it's free. If you decide to go with the OpenStax option, that is fine. The text is very good and it's very comparable to Pearson's. The only difference is that some of the numbering of the chapters might be different, which is not a big deal. You can easily kind of look at the title of the chapters and keep up. I will be using the chapter numbers based on the Pearson Mastering Biology eText edition. So if you decide to go with OpenStax, it will be up to you to kind of keep up with how those chapters align. You are required to purchase a lab manual. It can only be purchased from the Tarleton Bookstore. It cannot be purchased online as this is a custom-made manual. Labs will start the second week of the semester. However, we will provide a copy of the first chapter for your first lab, as we realize it might take you a little while to get your lab manual. However, after the second week, it is expected that you will bring your lab manual to every lab. You'll also need to create a free Gmail account if you don't already have one. I will also often be using Google Drive in class and or in lab for easily sharing materials, assignments, etc. So it's very useful if you have a Gmail account that you could save or make copies of these documents and keep in your own Gmail Google Drive folder. Course content. You can expect weekly modules to be posted in Canvas. The module will include things such as notes, videos, quizzes, assignments, etc. I will always let you know when a new module is posted, but you can usually expect a new module to be posted typically by end of day Monday. And usually things that might be due within the module, say for example a quiz or an assignment, those things are usually due by Friday. However, you'll need to pay close attention to each weekly module that gets posted, as well as the due dates that are posted within those modules each week. I highly recommend that you get access to Office 365 products. You have free access to these products due to being a TSU student. You can click on the link here in this PowerPoint to take you to a web page that will walk you through how to get access to Office products here at Tarleton. This is important because sometimes if I make Word docs or PowerPoints and you don't have the latest version of Microsoft Office, sometimes those things don't load properly. There will be at least one bonus opportunity before each exam. You have a total of 4 exams in this class. That means that you will have 4 total extra credit or bonus opportunities that you could gain some extra points. Please do not skip out on these opportunities. They're designed to help you learn the content before an upcoming exam. So I usually design them in a way that I know it's an area that students are struggling with, something that they need to be focusing on before the exam. And if you do it and turn it in before the deadline, then you can gain some bonus points. I do not accept late submissions for extra credit opportunities, and I will not offer additional individual extra credit opportunities only to specific students. I try to be fair and make sure that everyone knows that these bonus opportunities are coming, so please make sure that you take advantage of them. Far too often, at the end of the semester, students are borderline to the next letter grade, and if only they had done these extra credit opportunities, they easily could have bumped their own score to the next letter grade above them. Now, some general logistics about the class. The university has adopted the HighFlex 2.0 design for this semester. This is a little bit different than what you may have experienced last fall semester if you were here. What this means is you will now be limited to only 2 possible formats of how you could attend class. You have 2 options, and you can switch between these options as needed. Option 1 is you can attend face to face, meaning you physically come to class whenever you're scheduled to come. And then option 2 is where you attend synchronously online via Zoom, meaning there will be a live video stream feed from the class, each scheduled face to face period. For the face to face option, because we have a very large class, there are hundreds of students enrolled. I'm going to have to administer a survey in Canvas to figure out how students are planning on attending, especially for the face to face option. You will be assigned to attend either Tuesday or Thursday if you're planning on coming face to face. You could always come through Zoom Tuesday and or Thursday. Actually, you should because you don't want to miss anything that might be said on either of those days. However, you will be limited on face to face on when you can actually physically come. If I need to make adjustments to this policy, such as I notice that there's very low attendance, then I may change the option where you might have more opportunities to come, such as Tuesday and Thursday. However, at this time, we are anticipating that students will likely be coming more often than they did in the fall. So I will be administering that survey. Please make sure that you take the survey online in Canvas so that way I have an idea of how you're planning on coming to class. It is important that you are adhering to the university as well as CDC guidelines, such as wearing a mask when you come to face class meetings. You also have the option to attend synchronously online via Zoom. The Zoom recordings will be recorded just like they were last fall. However, the university is not automatically uploading the Zoom recordings. They'll only be made available to students that miss a scheduled class due to extenuating circumstances such as illness, etc. If you miss a class or you're missing several classes, please make sure that you are communicating with me so that I can make sure you're able to keep up with the coursework and still be successful. Please keep in mind that there will not always necessarily be a face to face. There may be some uh, scheduled Zooms, for example, or possibly some online work on your own type of days. However, every time that there is a face-to-face class, there will always be a live Zoom option. As far as Zoom recordings go, again, these will not automatically release in Canvas. I have to manually release them to students. So if you miss due to an illness, etc., you have to communicate with me so that I can get those Zoom recordings to you. They will not automatically release. As far as attendance goes, I will not be giving a required grade for attendance. However, I reserve the right to give bonus attendance quizzes and or bonus points every now and then periodically that can only be available at the scheduled class meetings. This is so that I can encourage regular class attendance. There will be some asynchronous work again posted in Canvas, such as things you might have to do on your own some days. However, you can expect pretty regular scheduled class meetings face to face and via live Zoom. Regardless of how you plan to attend class, all assignments, exams, quizzes, etc., will be completed online in Canvas. So, in summary, what should you expect for this class? All coursework, quizzes, exams, assignments will be administered through Canvas no matter which attendance option that you choose. I typically have some videos that I think are useful for you and your learning that will be supplemental and posted online in Canvas. Zoom recordings are only available due to extenuating circumstances. They will not automatically release. Face-to-face class time and or live stream Zoom time will be reserved for reviewing content that you should have read about in your text, Q&A sessions, clarifying concepts, and very often we'll be working problems during our scheduled class period. So how do you make your choice? Since our class size is so large, there are hundreds of you enrolled, I sent you a survey through Canvas that you need to complete to tell me what is your initial plan for taking this course. Meaning, are you coming face to face or are you only going to come through Zoom? This will help me when I go to kind of distinguish the class groups and seating charts as far as what to expect for how students are planning on coming. Please make sure that you complete this class choice survey that is posted in Canvas no later than Wednesday, June the 20th by noon. That way I can make the attendance groups and send those out by end of day Wednesday on the 20th. I plan to start the face-to-face opportunities on Thursday, January, not June, January 21st. So please make sure you complete that survey as soon as possible so that I can get those attendance groups assigned as soon as possible. Just a reminder that I am required to take attendance every class only for contact tracing purposes, but there's not a required grade. However, I am reserving the right to give bonus attendance quizzes or bonus points that can only be made available at scheduled class meetings. Those won't be all the time, but just every now and then. Again, that's to encourage regular attendance. If you have extenuating circumstances, again, that keep you from being able to attend class regularly, again, you need to make sure that you just communicate that with me. Please make sure that you bring a mobile device, such as a phone or a laptop, each day so that you can check in for attendance. And don't forget that you have two options on how you can attend, either in person, so face to face, on some scheduled class days according to the group that you'll be assigned to, and then synchronously via live stream on Zoom. Very important, flexibility and positivity is going to be key to our success. I realize that this is not a normal semester, it hasn't been a normal year. It's been extremely stressful. We've all run into a lot of challenges, and I expect that we will still run into challenges this semester. I realize that people can get sick. I realize I can get sick. We could all be exposed. and it could just create a lot of stress and anxiety for you and or myself if that was to happen. And so I want you to know that I am truly a believer that we all have to be flexible because things don't always go as planned. Okay? You and I need to be prepared to potentially make the transition to fully online if circumstances were to change. For example, if I was to get sick, have to isolate or quarantine, then we would have to move our class online. However, the way that I'm designing this course, it's intended to make that transition much easier for you if that were to happen. So, for example, even though we're having face-to-face class meetings, when you're turning in work to me, etc., that all happens through Canvas. Okay? Again, positive attitudes will take us a long way in this course, and I hope that we all have a great semester together. If you have accommodations on file here at the university, please make sure that you email me that this week. So, again, I want to make sure that I am meeting your documented accommodations so that way I can accommodate you accordingly and help you be successful. Supplemental instruction, there will be an SI leader for this class. SI sessions will also be offered through the HighFlex format, such as online and in person. If you've never heard of SI before, these are free sessions that you can attend each week. So they're additional supplemental class meeting times that you meet with a student who has previously taken this course and did very well. That student will then work with you either individually and or in groups and help you work through the content that we cover each week. Again, those are free and I highly encourage that you come. Once I have those session days and times, I will post them in Canvas. And lastly, very importantly, make sure that you're checking your Canvas daily. Okay? Once a day, a few times a week, just to make sure that you are staying up to date with course content when it gets posted, important deadlines, reminders, assignments, all that stuff will be sent through Canvas announcements to help you keep up to date. Remember that I'll typically post new weekly modules each Monday. This first week is kind of off because we started on a Tuesday. So our first class period where we're covering content will be this coming Thursday. So you can expect that module to be posted and ready by Wednesday. But usually, typically, new modules, you can expect them to be posted by end of day Monday before we have each week starting on Tuesday. If you still have questions, please bring those to our next class meeting and or you can message me directly through Canvas. Other than that, please read the detailed syllabus, check out your Canvas, get comfortable where things are at, look at your course materials, how to register your materials in Canvas. There are all kinds of resources that I've posted there for you. Other than that, I look forward to meeting you soon. Have a great semester.